It's the weekend and you have financial questions that need answering. That can only mean one thing. It's time for Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
Welcome, welcome. It's the Jill on Money Show, the program that takes the mystery out of your financial life. If you've got a question, just go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and check the box if you want to join us live. That's what Elizabeth and John did, and they join us from Pennsylvania. Hello, Elizabeth and John. Who wants to go first? Let's go to Elizabeth first.
Okay.
How you doing?
Jill. I'm doing great. Thanks for having us on.
Of course. So what brings you to our airwaves?
Well, I need someone to look at our big picture for where we're at right now. And I have some more specific questions as far as I inherited an IRA last year when my father passed away. And I'm a little on the fence about what to do with this. It needs to be dispersed over 10 years. I understand that. But I need you to look at all my numbers and then try to help me figure out what to do with that.
I mean, we're going to Vegas. That's what we're going to do with it. Stop with you sound already nervous about it. And let's go have some fun, for goodness. Okay, let's do some basics. Elizabeth, how old are you?
I'm 54.
And John, how old are you?
55.
Okay. Are you guys both working full time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. How much do you guys earn?
Together, about $400,000 a year.
That's awesome. That's great. And do you have kids?
Yes, one son, first year of college. We have him totally funded with 529, no problems there.
Okay. How are you guys saving for retirement right now? Not forgetting about the inherited IRA. What do you guys have?
So we have quite a bit.
I love quite a bit. It's my favorite amount.
Together in a 401k, we have 1.7 million. I have a traditional Roth that only has about 62,000 in it.
Hold it. You use two words together. Traditional Roth?
I'm sorry, traditional IRA.
Okay, traditional IRA.
Yeah.
And that has how much? 60 something?
62,000.
Okay.
And my Roth has 361,000 in it.
Okay. John has $736,000 in his traditional IRA. And how much in his Roth?
114,000.
Awesome. This is a lot of money you guys have saved up. What about non-retirement?
Okay, so we have a Vanguard S&P fund, and that's 1.5 million.
Whoa. You just have $1.5 million in that one fund?
You got it.
Yes.
Yeah, baby. Roll those dice. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, this is another one of my questions at the end.
Okay.
We also have an energy fund through Vanguard. That's at 81,000.
That's an odd thing to have, but okay.
I like to play around.
All right, you play. Hey, Mark, you see, we're going to Vegas. Stay tuned.
No, we're not.
Oh, okay.
We have a real estate fund. That's at 34,000. And I have a little bond fund, which we just started last year because I'm worried about how much I have in stocks. My bond fund is 28,000 only.
But everything's at Vanguard. One big account, yes?
All of that, yes.
Got it.
Yes. And we also have a CD that matured that I didn't do anything with yet. That's 26,000.
Okay. And in your 1.7 million 401k and those traditional IRAs, are you equally as aggressive in those funds, or do you have a bigger, like a more balanced approach?
Equally aggressive.
Like basically, if I looked at this $2.5 million, I'd be like, holy smokes, of the 2.5 million, like 90% is in stocks?
80%. I just looked at it. I figured it out. 81% exactly.
Okay, got it. So that's a lot of money. How about a house? You have a house?
Yep.
Yes.
What's it worth?
It's probably worth about 900 to 950.
Okay. Is there a mortgage outstanding?
No,
not for at least.
I had a feeling. Mark's giggling.
Why ask that question?
I know. It's so silly. I should have said, and I presume there's no mortgage outstanding. Okay. So kids taken care of, house is good, a bunch of money saved. You're in your 50s. Are you thinking about retirement at this point or not?
I'm a little torn. So yes, I am. And so we had a pretty big health scare 2 years ago with cancer, and it kind of reset my whole attitude with where am I going? Everything is different now, and I want to make it to retirement. So I have been thinking about earlier retirement than initially I thought.
So Elizabeth and
Mhm.
John, obviously you've got a ton of money saved up. Do you have a sense of how much you are spending and how much you'd
Yes.
like to be able to spend? What's
Mhm.
that a number? What's the expenses that we're looking at?
We're gonna say 7,000.
That's it?
It's probably around 6,500, but yeah, 7,000. We live in a very low cost of living area.
But don't you want to travel? What about
We
all
do
those trips?
travel.
That's with
Yeah.
travel.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Okay. How much money is in the inherited IRA from your father?
Okay. I do have some other money I inherited
Oh,
from him as
hold
well.
on. Let me do the inherited IRA first because that's
Okay.
in my retirement
I think
bucket
this is
here.
going to be a biggie.
Yeah, really? All right,
Uh,
let's go.
well, it added to, yeah. Okay. So the inherited, this is in Fidelity. So this
Okay.
is spread stuff around.
Okay.
There is a Roth in Fidelity, which is 50,500.
Okay.
And there is a traditional IRA for 649,000.
And those are the two big pieces of. Is there any other asset that you inherited from dad
Yes.
besides these? Okay. What else?
So I have kind of an S&P at Fidelity for 639,000. I do have a very small inherited IRA that's at Schwab for $1,900. And so this is my issue. He was he liked to play in the stock market like I
Yeah.
do. That's where I got this from.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a whole slew, 14 individual stocks held at Schwab. And that's worth altogether they're $558,000.
Okay, just so a little clarity just on the tax situation on those stocks. So you inherited this account. So everyone listening, remember, when someone passes away, you as the person who inherits the asset get what's called a stepped up cost basis. So if your father passed away a year ago, the cost basis of that 14 individual, that account, there's like two accounts that I'm very interested in. What's the cost basis on the S&P 500, the 639, and also on those individual stocks? Do you have any idea about that, what the cost basis is?
I do not.
Okay, so here's what you're going to need to do. I'm not saying you should keep everything. I'm just saying before we actually think about selling things, what would be very helpful would be to have the date of death valuation of both, right?
I do have that. I do know about that, but yeah.
Okay. So if you have that, well, I'm interested in because the S&P 500 is a fund that is an individual account that you inherited, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we need to know what the date of death valuation of that. So if you have that, and then also the individual stocks, those are the two things we want to know. It can't be that much. It's a year ago. So the stocks were up. But, if it was 580 and 500, it wouldn't surprise me, right? That you made that much money. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get back to Elizabeth and John in just a moment. If you would like to join us on the air, all you need to do is go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. Remember to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. We'll be right back.
If you've missed any part of a show or want to check out a past show, go to JillOnMoney.com for more great personal finance content.
You're back. It's Jill on Money. Let's get back to Elizabeth and John from Pennsylvania. What else is going on that I should know about? Is that all the dad stuff? Is there a house that you had to sell or something like that?
Nope. Everything that's all taken care of. So that's all the dad stuff. I do have a few other little things.
Of course you do.
So we have three individual stocks that we started quite a while ago. And together they're at 118,000. And we have a money market that's about 120,000. Our savings account is at 435,000.
What? Why is
I
it so
know.
much?
Well,
That was inherited money.
it was some inherited money.
Oh, okay.
Some.
Yeah, some of it.
Right, I know, and I have to do something with that. And we also have, we have checking that's like 20,000, and we both own a business. We each have a business, and right now I have about $200,000 in my work checking, and you have
100.
about 100 in his. And then we
Okay.
both own our buildings, our business buildings, so that could get counted in.
Oh my God. All right. Would that be sold? In other words, if you were to, can you sell your business that you're
I
in? You each
can.
have, you can.
I'm not counting on that. In my profession, that used to be the norm. You would sell and most people would retire on that. I never counted on that. And the way my industry is going, that is unlikely to happen. I think eventually I will just walk away.
But you would have the building.
I'd
Would
have
you
the
want to
building
sell
to
that
sell.
building?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. What's the building worth?
400.
400,
Yeah.
400,000.
And I'm sure there's no mortgage on it.
No.
What about your building, John? What's that?
No, we own that free and clear as well.
Oh, but how much is it worth?
Probably about 175.
Now, John, the health scare happened to you too. So are
Yes.
you both considering like how you would think, like, would you both say we're done? Like we're kissing our 400 grand goodbye at the end of this call?
we would do that. Yes.
Are you excited about that prospect, or does it scare the crap out of you?
I think it scares us.
I feel like you need a purpose in life, and that is a big part of what.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not saying you're going to do nothing, but
Right.
I think a health scare always gets your priorities just laid out in a different way. So it is not silly for me to just reiterate you are in such incredible financial shape, right? You know that. You hearing it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let it sink in. Okay. Mark, how long do they have to live before they plow through all their money? 180 years old? What would that be about?
Yeah, the only thing missing from this call is like, two $70,000 a year pensions.
No, but you guys don't have pensions, right? Because you're
I
self-employed?
have one pension that will pay me only $580 a month.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. That's nice. It'll be coffee. That's great. That's
Yeah,
your coffee. It'll be a
Take my
coffee
Medicare
habit.
supplement.
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
So let's just say that you both retired right now. You understand that you have absolutely no problems. You have so much money, forgetting even about the money that you inherited from your dad, Elizabeth. You've saved so much money and you just don't spend a lot. Is the health scare, the cancer diagnosis that you had, would that suggest that it's something like, okay, I'm living with it, it's hanging over your head? Does it encourage you to be like, oh, I'm just going to take my Social Security as soon as I can? Or like, how are you thinking about it?
So I looked at my Social Security numbers, and I think I would probably take it early rather than wait till I'm 70, because, nobody knows if they're going to be around. And I just feel like if I take it at 62, it'd be $2,700. If I wait till 70, it's $4,900.
Yeah, but it doesn't even matter to you.
It doesn't.
Either way, I know. And just to have the money in hand. I think that if you have a change in, look, you hear us talk about this all the time, that if you have a life expectancy that's been curtailed, then taking it early is better. Is your idea right now that, you'll spend your money, you'll have a good time? What else do you want to do? Do you want to like set your kid up? Do you want to,
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is, I'm not totally setting him up. This is how we were brought up, and this is what I believe. I'll provide an education and I will help you make your life, but I'm not making your life for you.
Ooh.
And that is how we were raised.
Mm-hmm.
Make your own way. I'll provide an education. I'll provide everything possible for you, but I'm not just handing out money.
Okay. How old is this kid? 18 or something, or 19?
Yeah, 19.
So the inherited IRA, which has 650 grand, you do have that 10 years to get the money out, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
You wouldn't want to do it while your household income is $400,000. I'll tell you that
Right.
much.
Yeah.
So one thing that I think makes a lot of sense would be to wait until you don't have that income. And, why don't we just use the traditional IRA that you inherited and make that, just get rid of it over 10 years and, it'll go away. Just take out a bunch of money every year, pay the tax on it, whatever it's going to be, $100,000 or $120,000, whatever you want to do. You can do that. I mean, obviously, it almost works better if you have like zero income. So take as much out as you can and stay within a tax bracket that makes sense. You have to take that and the Schwab IRA. Just get rid of those as, Okay, so that's priority one. We're going to use that to live on. That's kind of your $7,000 a month. It won't be quite enough, but it'll be close. Okay. And then we have this issue of all of the money that you guys have that hasn't been taxed yet. So here's my question to you. Do you have an inclination that would kind of push you towards getting, once you retire again, starting to convert your 401k, the $1.7 million plus the almost $800,000 you guys have in your traditional IRAs? How do you feel about converting that to a Roth?
Yep. I have thought about that and just pay the tax and do that. Yep.
I mean, you don't have to do it all at once, but you've got time here, right? Because remember, you don't have to pull money out of your traditional accounts until you turn 75. So to me, first, let's get rid of dad's inherited money. That is the first priority, right? Now, you guys you're probably in the 32% tax bracket about, okay? So if you wanted to stay in 32%, you could keep doing it that way, or you could just say, all right, we'll take, $100,000 a year out of dad's inherited IRA, and then we'll start converting a chunk of money from our traditional accounts to keep us in the 32% tax bracket. And you could do it at the 24%. It'll take you longer, but you could do it. I have a feeling the problem for you guys is you just have so much money that it's going to be hard for you to be in a very low tax bracket at any point. You're just not going to get there.
I don't know. I get the sense that they would benefit from working with somebody.
I think maybe, but Elizabeth's a control freak and she has a little habit, which she likes to, have fun with. I think you could work with somebody. Do you have a CPA that you like?
Yes. I do.
Okay. So, you could do this with the CPA and talk to the CPA and say to him or her, hey, you know what? We know we have this huge ticking time bomb called the money that we have in the traditional account that I inherited and the traditional accounts that, we maintain. And you can say, what we really would like to do is work with you so that every year, as long as we can, we want to convert as much money from our traditional accounts into our Roth accounts. We'll use the cash on hand because you have $400,000. So honestly, and plus 100, you have like $500,000 in cash just as is. That even does not include the sale of the buildings that you have. So, I would convert. If you need some guidance on a big decision that has anything to do with money, get in touch with us. Go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. We'll be right back.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
You're back. It's Jill on Money. And if you are wondering why you are doing certain things in your financial life and you need some guidance or you need just some mentoring, some coaching, get in touch with us. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and write us a note. If you'd like to join us live, just check the box. Mark will do everything else. While you're on the website, don't forget you can subscribe to Jill on Money Live. That's where you'll have access to quarterly live webinars, bonus audio and video content, the entire back catalog, all for $45 for the next 12 months. Just go check it out. Right now, let's conclude our conversation with Elizabeth and John. are you guys, would you consider yourselves charitable? Would you like to be charitable?
Yes. And I have a scholarship set up fund for my high school.
Oh, nice.
It's small, but I'm charitable.
Okay. Have you heard me or anyone talk about something called a donor advised fund?
Yes.
Okay. This is how I would use this. The scholarship fund, is that run through another organization? Is it a 501c3? Is it,
No.
It's
No.
not.
Mm-mm.
So we need that to happen, because otherwise, like, you setting up a scholarship is just going into the universe with you're not getting the benefit that you could get from it.
Okay.
Which is fine. It doesn't mean that you can't have that scholarship fund, but that should not be the bulk of your giving.
Okay.
Okay. A donor advised fund is going to help you with a couple of different things. One is the Vanguard S&P 500 fund that you have right now, the $1.5 million. And this is something you can work on with the CPA after tax season, I would tell you, because they're not going to be happy to talk to you before then. That $1.5 million, I'm not saying you should put all of it into a donor advised fund, but let's say that next year, so I don't know how long it'll really take you to say I'm done working, but you should be done tomorrow as far as I'm concerned. If you took 100, 200 grand, you could just take 200 grand a year for the next few years and gift that into a donor advised fund. You would gift shares of the Vanguard S&P 500. You could do this at Vanguard, by the way. They have donor advised funds through Vanguard. They'll help you set it up. They will do the accounting for you. You're going to say, I'm going to take this highly appreciated Vanguard S&P 500 fund. I'm going to put 200 grand into my donor advised fund. You're going to get a tax deduction for 200 grand the day you do that. The following year, you could do the same thing. And now you could front load it. You could say, let me do this for a few years while you're doing your Roth conversions, by the way, because those Roth conversions add to your tax liability. The Vanguard, the donor advised fund will help you with your tax liability.
Okay.
Now, again, you could do this with a CPA. You could do this with a financial planner. You really can. But I'm just giving you the basic construct. You could put as much money into this donor advised fund as you want. Maybe you try to get, the $1.5 million down to $1 million. And you're not taking any tax hit for doing that. In fact, you get a tax benefit. Okay. So you don't have to sell the Vanguard S&P 500. They transfer the money in. The money is whatever goes in. That is your charitable contribution into that fund. From that fund, you can make charitable gifts over time. You don't have to do it all at once. You can do it at any time you'd like. And you're going to have a slug of money in there, and you can even invest the money inside of the donor advised fund. You don't do a lot of that, but you want to keep growing it, not like in a huge way, but this takes a lot of your risk off the table of that Vanguard fund, right? Okay. Now on the dad stuff, I mean, it sort of seems to me you have a huge allocation to the S&P 500 fund, right?
Yeah.
So that to me could be sold and reallocated, and you're going to pay some small tax on it. Again, you should really work with someone just to help you understand your tax liability. So if your cost basis for the S&P 500, $639,000, let's just say you inherited it and it was $580,000 and now it's $640,000, you'll have to pay capital gains on that differential. Okay? It's not a big deal. So you pay capital gains tax. Same thing with those 14 individual stocks, because those, I think you probably own, I'm guessing, unless you have some weird nostalgic thing. It doesn't matter. You might as well just use these assets to kind of round out your allocation so that you're no longer 80-20 or 90-10, that we really would like to get you to be somewhat more balanced.
Okay.
And Mark's idea of working with a financial planner, with a fiduciary financial planner, would only be helpful in that they would take all of this together and build a strategy for you. And you have a lot of money, guys. It just depends where you want to spend your time. Because maybe this is something that you feel like, Elizabeth, you're like, I love doing this. Maybe this is your retirement fun. Is it?
No. Well, no. I mean, I just got so used to saving and doing all this on my own. And my dad was always he did it on his own. But I kind of feel like if I had somebody trustworthy to maybe direct it, maybe I'd be happier.
I guess the most important thing that I can say today is, if you've gone through a health scare and you've been thinking about this, let's do it. And and maybe what you're doing for the rest of this year is to sketch out to yourselves how you would manage this money. Maybe that's going to be like the way you transition. And then you're going to give yourself permission to do whatever you want to do. I would even say you could spend more than $8,000 a month. I really would. I know you said 7. I moved it to 8. How, and you're going to have to pay. The 7,000 doesn't include health insurance. Oh, would you pay for your own health insurance?
Yes, I do pay for my own health insurance. Yes. Yeah.
These guys, you're not going to spend all the money. And I guess the other piece of it is you only have one child. There is a lot of estate planning that you guys need to do around making sure that this money is tied up for him as well. Right. Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think I'm done with you guys. What else any other questions for us?
My only other one was how to set everything up to make this easy for my son, but I think I do need to find somebody to help me with that. So,
yeah, absolutely. All right, well, then we're done with you. You guys are going to get us some hate mail, but you know what? I feel like this is a good story, and you're going to give yourselves some peace of mind. Go ahead and do it and have fun, okay? You promise? Have fun.
I'll say this. I started out in a job at $30,000 a year. I've been working since I'm 16. I saved my whole life. So I get it. People will have hate against people who accumulated wealth, but it took a lot of doing to get to this point.
If you have a financial question, just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. You're listening to Jill on Money.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
You're back. It's Jill on Money. This is the program that is all about you, your questions, your concerns, your ability to reach out to two people who have the designation of certified financial planner, who have no other vested interest other than engaging you in a conversation that's going to help you get where you want to go. If that resonates with you, go to our website, JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and send us a note. What is on your mind? How we can help you out. It's very easy to do. Right now, let's take an email. This is from Jerry, who asks, I often hear about the 4% rule, but my pension covers our basic needs. I don't really ever hear a percentage rule in these cases. I would assume that it would be much higher. Okay, this 4% rule is actually what's referred to as a withdrawal rate, meaning the amount of money that you can pull from your total investment and retirement accounts without depleting those funds before the end of your life. Now, 4% was a pretty tried and true rule. It's tough. I mean, that can often be a high number if we are in a big, huge market sell-off. But, even if it's anywhere between 3 and 4%, it's called a safe withdrawal rate. Now, if your pension covers all of your basic needs and it has a cost of living adjustment, sure, you can take more money out of the account if you want. It doesn't matter. But I guess the other part is, why would you? Why would you take more money out if your pension's covering all your needs? So, Jerry, I'd love to know more about what's going on for you, and then maybe we can help you think about the best withdrawal rate for you in your life. This is from Mike, who says, if I were to purchase a vehicle for my daughter and have both her name and my name on the title, would that fall within the 2025 gift rules because of both names on the title? I'm not sure about this. I guess that in the strictest definition, if the amount of money that you're paying for that car, half yours, half hers, if her half amounts to more than $19,000, which is the gift tax allowance for 2025, that would actually constitute a gift. Now, by the way, Mike, if you're married, you and your spouse could be gifting $19,000 each, so that would be $38,000. It depends on your situation, whether or not you're married, and the cost of the car. So get back in touch with us. This is from Danielle, who writes, last year, when interest rates are higher, we put aside some money into a 3-year CD that had a 5.2% interest rate. However, recently we were notified that the lender, a bank, was terming the CD early. We originally put $6,000 into the CD, but noticed that the payout was $59.87. What happened? I thought CDs were a safe way to invest, and while they didn't have the potential to grow as quickly as a stock, they wouldn't have the potential to depreciate either. We didn't lose much this time around, but want to make sure we have a clear understanding for future CD investments. Okay, Danielle, I think there's some confusion as to what kind of CD you owned. It sounds like you have a brokered or had a brokered CD. And the difference is that with a brokered CD, you can have a lot more flexibility. Usually that brokered CD, it doesn't compound interest. Sometimes you get an interest in a regular period, and maybe you get all of your interest at maturity. But the thing is, when the bank can call that brokered CD, the issue is that you are paying a small fee to get out of it. So usually what often happens with a brokered CD is that you get a higher rate of interest, but there is that downside risk. The institution can call the CD and it costs you a few bucks to get out in terms of your principal. So hopefully the amount of interest you received made up for it. But in the future, if you want to be ultra safe, you go for a traditional CD, not a brokered CD. I hope that helps. This question is from Rich, who says, "Hi, Mark and Jill. I have 2 children, age 30 and one age 26. They are both childless right now, but we do suspect that at some point in the future, one or both will have children. Is it possible to open a 529 plan for, as they say in sports, a player to be named later?" Thanks, Rich. Mark, it used to not be. It used to be that you had to have a social security number, but it is possible to open a 529 without a social, right?
Yeah, that's true. I know people that have done this. You basically open it in your name, and once the beneficiary comes along, you transfer it into their name.
I mean, it's very nice to do. I would always wait. I'm sorry. I feel like that's bad juju anyway, but that's just me. Sorry. All right, last question from Fran. I listen to a variety of podcasts, and many advertise the need for buying title insurance so crooks don't take out loans on your home. Is it really happening? Is buying title insurance reasonable? She gives the example of a company. All right, Mark, I have no idea. We've never had a title insurance company come to us, have we?
No, I would say this is all nonsense.
This sounds like nonsense. Usually title insurance is something that you need when you get a mortgage, and it always seems a little bit, I was going to say like a scam. It's not a scam, but it seems unnecessary. But the mortgage company, because it's a big chunk of money, wants you to get insurance because they're worried that they have too much risk. So they're happy to have you buy the title insurance. But it really is unnecessary in most cases.
Yeah, I actually remember when we recently closed on our new place here, our attorney told us, he's like, look, in the weeks to come, you're going to get a bunch of, well, as he said, you're going to get a bunch of crap in the mail telling you to buy title insurance. Just throw it out.
There you go. So throw it out. All right. I hope that helps. If you need some help in making a big decision that remotely touches your money, get in touch with us. Go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. We'll be right back. You're back. It's Jill on Money, and just want to let you know, gang, that if you like this show, we actually have 2 podcasts. One is called Jill on Money. We release that Monday through Friday, little snippets, 15 minutes, maybe 18 minutes every day. We are answering financial questions. We also have a separate podcast. It's called Money Watch, and Money Watch is released on Saturdays and Sundays. With Money Watch, we try to take a deeper dive into some of the basics, some of the core concepts you need to conquer to help you better manage your financial life. Both of these podcasts are available on our website at jillonmoney.com, or you can find them wherever you get your podcasts. By the way, while you're on the website, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. It comes out every Friday. Mark does a great job with that. Before we conclude the hour, let's take an email. This is from Robert, who writes, I work for a big utility company, and I've been here for 36 years. I've been investing in my 401k the whole time. I just broke over $1 million when Joe Biden was in office, and over the last few weeks, I've lost almost $80,000. Even though I'm not actively trading individual stocks, would my 401k be better off if the market never dropped? Or, since I'm still contributing the usual amount to my 401k, am I getting stocks at a lower price and therefore ahead of the game? Or would I have been better off if the market never fell and we had continued steady, constant growth as we did over the last few years? Well, Robert, here's the issue. You are a long-term investor, even though you are closer to retirement than 36 years ago when you began your career. And part of being a long-term investor means enduring periods where markets sell off. Now, the best antidote to that sell-off is the fact that you don't need all of your money at once. Even at this point in your career, you're investing for decades in the future. Your money has to last you. It's not really a question of whether you're better off or not. It is just the actual condition of being an investor. If you'd like to follow up with us and maybe review the allocation, that's one thing, but I would stick to your game plan as much as possible. If you've got a question about the recent sell-off in markets and how it impacts you, get in touch with us. Go to jillonmoney.com and click the Contact Us button. We'll be right back.
It's the weekend, and that can only mean one thing. You're listening to Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
You're back. It's Jill on Money. We are here trying to answer your financial questions. If you've got one, just go to our website, jillonmoney.com, jillonmoney.com. And in the upper right-hand corner, there is a box that says Contact Us. Click that box, write us your note, and if you'd like to join us live, all you need to do is check the box, and Mark will do everything else. Let's get this hour started. We are talking to Catherine, who joins us from Seattle. Hi, Catherine. How are you?
I'm great, Jill. Thank you for having me on today.
Of course. What's going on? How can we help you out?
Well, my husband and I have been kind of planning on retiring, probably like 2.5 to 5 years. And I just wanted to make sure that we're on track.
So in 2.5 to 5 years, you would like to retire?
Yes.
And if you could make that happen sooner, like next year, would you want that to happen? Would you, in other words, if you could, would you?
Yes.
Okay. So it's really like 0 to 5 years.
Well, okay. Hold on though. We are, and we're going to get into this, but we're in the process of building a house and we have to refi out of a construction loan. And right now rates aren't great. So I'm actually hoping to continue working until for a couple of years just to see if rates go down so that we can.
You and Mark are hoping for the same thing. Yeah. Catherine, how much do you earn?
I'm on commission, so I earn anywhere from $225 to $350 a year.
Okay. I mean, do you have a base or it's all commission?
Base plus commission.
Okay, I got it. And how old are you, Catherine?
56.
How old's the hubby?
He is 59.
And he's also working full time?
Yes, he is.
How much does he earn?
He makes about $75,000 a year.
Will either of you be entitled to a pension?
No.
Okay. It's okay. You make a lot of money. It's all right. You might not need the pension. So you have some kids?
We do not have kids.
Okay. Got pets?
We do. Yep.
What kind?
3 huskies.
Whoa. That's serious.
Yeah, it sure
That's
is.
serious. Okay.
Yeah.
I have little terriers. So when we run into huskies out in the parks, we're like, whoa, that's the real deal. That's a wolf, basically. Okay. So you're building a house right now. What is your current house? Would you have a primary right now?
Yes, we do. Yep.
How much is that worth?
That is worth about $600,000.
Is there a mortgage on it?
Yes, we owe about $400. It's just we pulled some cash out to help us with the build.
Okay. So tell us about the house that you're building, because that's obviously a priority. So where are you in the process?
We're almost done.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What will the house be worth when it's done?
It'll be worth about 1.5.
So I see you did the real downsize here.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Wrong way, Catherine. So, the outstanding mortgage. Tell us about how that works on the house you're building.
Well, we've got a construction loan right now for about, it's going to be about, the construction loan amount is $805.
Okay.
And then we're hoping to, when the rates go down, take out more equity from our primary and put that towards, just get the loan amount down on the house.
You're not going to, so no, I just want to make sure I understand this. You're building a house and it's a second home as opposed to you're moving into it. You're not going to sell your primary?
That is correct. Yeah. It's in a, it's like 3.5 hours away from our house.
Okay. This is like your fun summer, whatever mountain house. Okay.
Yes, right on
what's the rate of the construction loan?
The rate of the construction loan is 7.8.
Is that fixed?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's walk. Okay. So let's walk through a few other things. So we got the primary, we got the construction loan, the house is almost done. On your, let's just call it around $350,000 to $400,000 a year between the two of you. How is the cash flow carrying this new home?
Well, we also have 2 short-term rentals.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's worked out really well. In addition to the 2 short-term rentals, we also have 1 long-term rental.
Wait, you're saying you have 3 rental properties?
Yes.
Okay. Boy, you got a lot of real estate, you two. So let's do the short-term rentals first. Rental number 1, how much is it worth?
1.5.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
My God. What's the mortgage outstanding?
The mortgage outstanding is $360,000, about $361,000.
Okay. And is that a cheap rental mortgage rate? Sorry.
2.875.
Yeah, that's cheap.
Yep.
That qualifies. Okay.
Yeah.
What about the second short-term rental?
Okay, that one is worth about $775,
Mm-hmm.
and we owe about $474 on that one, and that interest rate is 3.15.
Okay. And what are these short-term rentals generating in terms of rental income?
The short-term rentals generate about $175,000 a year.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And,
amazing.
But we're thinking that if we really work at it and get on different hosting software, that kind of thing, we can bump that up probably to 200, 250.
What about the long-term rental? What's that worth?
That one's newer. That one is worth it's worth about $525, and we owe $368,000. The interest rate is 5.99, and that was kind of we didn't really want to do it, but it was for a family member and they're renting it. So.
You got roped in. Yeah. Catherine and her husband minding their own business. Oh, I need a place to live. So now I learn more about this. So the long-term rental, I presume whatever you're generating in income, it's sort of covering the costs?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And the $175,000 for the short-term rental, is that the gross amount or is that the net to you?
That's the gross.
Okay. So with all this income and your current income, right?
Yep.
How's the cash flow?
It's good.
Yeah?
Right, yeah, it's good right now.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Good. Fabulous. I'm going to my next asset class. How have you guys saved for retirement? Besides these rentals, is there money in a 401k and an IRA? What do you got?
Yeah, we've got the short-term rentals were bought as part of our retirement plan, but right now we have about $1 million in 401k. That's it.
Okay.
And then we have 225 in savings.
Okay. So really it's the real estate that is powering this, right?
Yes.
Would you ever consider getting rid of one or more of these properties in the future, even though there's great cash flow? Would you consider it simply to get rid of this construction loan?
That has come up. That thought has come up. Yes.
Only if, obviously, if you don't have to, that would be great, right? You're managing right now, so that's fine. We'll get back to Catherine in just a minute. If something's going on in your life and you need a helping hand, a couple of extra ears or eyes, Mark and I are both certified financial planners, so give us a holler. Let us know how we can help you out. Just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. We'll be right back.
If you've missed any part of the show or want to check out a past show, go to JillOnMoney.com for more great personal finance content.
You're back. It's Jill on Money, and we are here trying to help you make more considered financial decisions. And we do that by asking you to get in touch with us. Just go to our website, JillOnMoney.com, and click the Contact Us button. Let's get back to our conversation with Catherine, who joins us from Seattle. What do you think? This is so fascinating because you have a lot of real estate, which I know has its own cost, but your spending on an annual basis. What do you think the spend is for you?
Boy, that's a good question.
Thank you.
I want to know the answer to that.
Yeah, I know. It's like stepping on the scale. You can do it. It's okay. I'll hold your hand.
I don't even know. I don't know.
Mark, you want to take a whack at their spending or not?
I'm going to say it's on the high side.
What do you think?
Probably is.
I'm thinking 10 grand a month.
Yeah, I was going to say 10 to 12.
All right, let's say it's 12 grand a month. I mean, they've saved a lot of money.
Yeah, most of it's in real estate, yeah.
Yeah, but they had to still put that money out to buy these things. Let's say they both get done at age 59. At 59, would you be able, so let's just say at 59, if they had the income from the short-term rentals and we sold the long-term, are we not able to sell the long-term rental ever?
Well, my mom lives there. So.
Oh my God, your mother lives there. And she's paying you rent?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is she good? Is she a good tenant?
Yeah, she is. She's actually a great tenant. Yeah, she's taking really good care of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How old's mom?
76.
Oh, she's young.
Yeah.
All right. So then we really can't get rid of that because she's there.
No,
she couldn't live in the short-term rentals anyway because
No.
Would you say that one or the other short-term rental is a better performing asset? Yes. Is the $1.5 million one a better performing asset than the 775 one? What do you think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's the real keepers, number one.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to just see what happens if in the next couple of years you don't get to refi and how this floats, how this goes for you.
Poo-poo you.
I'm sorry. Mark needs a refi also.
Oh.
But, you have to root for a recession, both of you. This is so interesting. So if it's 12 grand a month, let's just say that you can, I'm not even putting mom's stuff in here. Okay. I'm really not. Cause I feel like you have the house for her whenever she's going to stay there as long as she can stay there. Right.
Yes. As far as I know. Yes.
Right. So if you could get income, the gross income on the short-term rental up to 200, what would you clear on that, do you think?
Both short-term rentals, they probably cost us $40,000 a year for each one. And that's,
so 80 total.
Yeah, and that's mortgage payments, cable, power.
Okay.
And then repairs are in addition to that because they're on the ocean, so we have to. There's a lot of upkeep and maintenance.
Right, you have to have like a sinking fund for that. That's why you have a big savings account, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
So it's just, but mostly it's not bad. It hasn't been bad at all. It's been they've been really good investments.
Could you okay, let's say we have like the retirement scenario here. Like, let's say in a couple years, let's say 2 or 3 years, you've got the new house with a construction loan refinanced. It's not going to be 3 or ever again. Okay. Let's just say you refinance it and it's like 5.5 and it's okay. Right. Let's just do that. Would you still work part-time? Would either of you keep doing something for a few years or not?
Oh yeah, I would for sure. Yes.
What do you think you could earn part-time? Because I know commission-based people, they're always in people want them.
I'm thinking about getting a real estate license and then I also starting a little photography business. That's kind of my side hustle.
Okay.
And so I figure with those two things and the short-term rentals,
Yeah. I mean, listen, if you can get the income up to, I don't know, 200 to 225 grand for the rentals, and then the cost of running those rentals is 80 total, right?
Yep.
We're kind of we're in good shape, right? That's the bulk of your need will come from the short-term rentals. If you can round it out with a little bit of money, both of you, I don't know if, he can do anything part-time, but like just a little bit of extra, that would be great. And I think that obviously at some point, all this real estate is going to be a hassle to manage. That said, it's a kind of a great side hustle that you have in and of itself, which is if you are part-time real estate, you're now in the business and now you're probably a little bit more involved in making sure you have all these properties managed correctly at the right, pricing. But I don't want you to buy any more real estate. You are long real estate. Okay. My goal would be that whenever you decide to call it quits, couple 3 years, that the net income to you plus whatever part-time income you have, that will basically meet your needs. And then eventually, things will get a little bit better because, eventually you'll claim Social Security for each of you. And eventually you're not going to keep every single one of these houses. And maybe the mom's house is going to be sold eventually. But what we're hoping to do is not dip into your 401k at all, until later when you start to see whether or not these rentals are covering your needs. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Mark, is there a fly in the ointment of our plan? I guess it would be that interest rates stay at high levels and you never get a chance to refi.
Yeah, that could happen. And I was going to say, we're also just assuming that they spend $12,000 a month. So you really, really need to figure out what exactly it is you're spending.
Right.
I don't think we're spending $12,000 a month. I mean, do you mean with our mortgage payments too?
Yeah, with everything.
Oh yeah, that's probably, yeah.
She's like, yeah, that is actually, yeah, that's right.
But you were saying the rentals, it costs you $40,000 a year to run. Is that factoring in everything?
Yeah.
Including mortgage?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the mortgage and
okay. So then we need your monthly spend, which is going to include your primary residence.
Yeah. We want everything all together.
Put the rental properties aside. We're just talking about, what it costs to run your household,
right,
your primary
household.
Residence.
What it is.
Oh yeah. Okay. So just to run our household, just to run everything is probably close to 10,000.
We were pretty close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But we know we're going to have to budget. I mean, you
don't have to budget, but I think that you're going to be okay. I really do. I just think that what we need to be careful about is that when you do this, as long as you have to sort of be willing. If you want to retire early, then I think what it requires is you being willing to shift if things don't work exactly the way we have planned. What do I mean by that? I mean that if all of a sudden these short-term rentals zoom up in value and you could just take a chunk of money off the table. And in other words, the equity is so much richer than whatever you could actually get in short-term rentals. You sell one. and you don't worry about it, and you don't get married to these things. That's what I think is required if you're going to try to retire early. That if something goes wrong or if things get out of whack, you can be like, I got this rental. I'm selling it. Goodbye. It's done. Don't get attached to these things. If you can do that, I think you can retire whenever you want. I really do. If you sort of still like what you're doing, keep doing it. Do you like it or not?
Oh, I love it. It's been a beautiful career.
It sort of feels like you're in very good shape. Do you have all your estate documents done?
No.
Come on.
I know.
You knew I was going to ask you that.
I know.
God.
We need to get it done. Yeah,
get it done. I mean, you got to make sure. Who would take care of the pets if something happened to you?
I know.
We have a special fund. We leave it with my sister-in-law, and we leave her extra money to take care of them.
Wow. Good idea. Good
Yeah,
idea.
right?
Yes.
I mean, just get that done, please. Pretty please?
Yes.
Pretty please? Okay.
Yes.
If you're wrestling with a decision or want to understand whether or not you're on track to reach your goals, get in touch with us. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, write us that note, and we'll help you out. It's Jill on Money.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
You're back. It's Jill on Money. And as I look at the calendar, I see how close we are to the tax filing deadline. If you are scrambling at the last second, you need some assistance, give us a shout. Go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. And also, while you're on the website, you may want to subscribe to our service, Jill on Money Live. Our most recent webinar was with Ed Slott. He is a CPA and IRA expert, and it was a great conversation. If you subscribe right now for the $45 cost of the next 12 months, you'll get the back catalog and you'll be able to enjoy that Ed Slott webinar as you prepare your taxes. I encourage you to do that. Right now, we're going to talk to Anne from California. What's going on? How can we help you?
Well, I was laid off late last year, and I wanted to check in if we are in a good position for me to just retire early, or should I be going back to the workforce?
I'm sorry that you were laid off. I hate your boss for that. You said we. Are you married, partnered?
Yes, I am married, been married for 33 years.
So it's still working. So far, so good, right?
So far, so good. Yes.
How old are you, Anne?
I will be turning 60 in a few months.
60 this year. What about your spouse?
He's turning 63 also in a few months.
And is he working?
No, he's been retired military.
Oh, okay. Does he get a pension?
He does.
What's that pension amount?
It's about $6,100 a month.
Wow, that's a lot.
Nice.
That's really nice. I'm sure he earned every dollar. And will you be entitled to any pension or not?
Only for the first 3 years, probably around $1,500.
Meaning 60 to 63?
Yes.
Well, okay. And tell us about the amount of money that you've been saving.
So we have about $2 million
Wow.
in retirement account, and then another 20,000 TSP.
Okay. And the $2 million in retirement, that is all a traditional retirement, or is there some Roth?
We have about 75,000 Roth.
Okay. So 75 Roth, but then like the lion's share in traditional. Okay.
Correct.
What about a brokerage account, like a non-retirement account? Anything there?
None in the brokerage account, but we have some savings in CD and high yield savings, about 400.
Wow. How come so much?
We're good savers.
You're good savers. Okay, fair enough. So 400 grand in savings, CDs, etc. And what about your house? Do you own your home?
We do.
How much is it worth?
It's about 2.1.
Wow. Okay. Is there a mortgage outstanding?
Welcome to Southern
Yes.
California.
I know. There is a mortgage?
There is. It's about 518,
Okay. What's the interest rate on that, Anne?
2.25.
Oh, God. So great. Okay. So you got a cheap mortgage interest rate. I'm not saying it's cheap, but because you probably have very high property taxes, you probably have high homeowners insurance. What do you figure it costs you to live every year? Like, what is your monthly nut? What is it you think that you need to live on?
Around 12K a month. Essential is around 7.
What do you mean essentially 7? You mean 12K
12K,
gross?
that would be
Essentials are 7. But
Oh, okay. Okay.
essential 7. Uh-huh.
Okay. So $7,000 a month in essentials, but then extra money just for fun?
Fun, extra mortgage payment.
No.
What? No way. No
Yeah.
way. You cannot make extra mortgage payments. You have
I
a 2.25% mortgage.
I know.
You don't know. You're making the payments. You know, and
Trying-
you're still no, absolutely not. I'm going down to the mat on this. Now, there is absolutely.
I think you're getting pinned on the mat over this one.
I mean, this is an absolute hard no. No way.
Okay.
You got a 2.25% mortgage. Okay, is it a 30 or a 15 year?
30.
Okay, when is that 30 year? How far into this are you?
Oh, I didn't figure out the 30, but the 15, because I'm trying, that's our goal is to
No.
think 15, 20,
No.
2039.
Leave it be. Just leave it be.
Okay.
So are you saying $7,000 a month is including your basic payment on the mortgage, right?
Correct.
And your property taxes and your utilities and your fund and like that, right?
No, the fund is with the total of 12K.
But you
So-
said they were making extra payments on the mortgage. So give me the fund amount. Is it really $5,000 a month? That's a lot in fun.
No, not really.
How much of that 5 is an extra mortgage payment?
1,000 a month.
Okay,
So you're
now
saying-
we're down to 4.
So now we're down to 4. So you're saying you're spending $50,000 a year on fun in addition to your $7,000 as essentials?
Well, you know what? No, let me pull
Yeah,
out
see
my.
this? There's no way this is working in my mind. I mean, the way that you just laid it out. There's no way they're spending.
Oh, you know what, Jill?
What?
Because I added, car payments, future
Yeah.
car payments in that.
Well, what do you mean? Do you have a car payment now or not?
We don't. But
So you're saying but you'll have to buy a car. You're not going to have car payments. You're going to just pay for a
Correct.
car. All right. I'll just say $11,000 a month. Let's just go with that
Okay,
for now.
sounds good.
Okay. How's that?
sounds good.
Next, of your 11 grand, we know that the military pension covers about half of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even looking at this 3-year $1,500 a month that you're getting. What
Mhm.
is the Social Security benefit that you will be entitled to? Both of you. Let's say at age 67.
Actually, my husband is already pulling from his social. It's around 1,028 a month.
Why did he take his Social Security so early? Is he not well?
We have health issues.
Do
We've
you
had
as well?
health issues. I did.
You did. So you're
Mhm.
both thinking about 62?
For me, actually, I'm thinking about 64.
Why 64? Because that's when the 1,500 month goes away?
And also, I do want to be able to do some Roth conversion.
You don't need to do a Roth conversion. Why would you
don't?
need?
Okay.
No. You just pull the money out. We'll get back to Anne in just a minute. Got a question? Go to JillOnMoney.com. Click the Contact Us button and write us a note. If you'd like to join us live, just check the box. Mark will do everything else. While you're on the website, don't forget you can subscribe to Jill on Money Live. That's where you'll have access to quarterly live webinars, bonus audio and video content, the entire back catalog, all for $45 for the next 12 months. We'll be right back.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
You're back. It's Jill on Money, the program that tries to help you make more considered financial decisions. Sometimes all we really do is listen to the things that you say you'd like to do. What are your goals? What are your objectives? What are your dreams? And then we try to find ways to give you different options to get where you want to go. It's very easy to do this when you have an impartial third party who's not trying to sell you anything on the other end of the line. If you'd like to join us and talk through whatever's going on in your financial life, go to jillonmoney.com, and in the upper right-hand corner, there is a Contact Us button. Click that button, write us your note, and if you would like to join us live, just check the box, and Mark will do everything else. And while you're on the website, I want to remind you all of our content lives there. So we've got a blog, we have videos, we've got resources, and you can always sign up for the free weekly newsletter, which comes out every Friday. Great way to get your weekend started. Right now, let's get back to Anne, who joins us from California. At age 67, what's your Social Security benefit?
It's $39.37.
$39.37. He's got the $1,000 a month, plus he has his $6,100 a month pension, right?
Correct.
Okay. Let's talk. Tell me about these two kids. How old are they? Where are they? What's going on?
They're in their 30s. My son is a software engineer.
Okay. So he's fine.
He's fine. So my daughter, we're still kind of helping her.
Okay. How much are you helping her? Is that part of our $11,000 a month?
Yes.
Okay.
It's about 700.
All right. So just so we got this straight, you got this $2 million account. It's over there. You got this $2.1 million home. It's over on this other side, right? You got 11 grand a month in your for your expenses, right? So for now, what I think you should be doing is I don't really think you're going to need to go back to work. Mark, do you agree with that?
100%. Just based solely on the pension. Yeah.
Okay. So we got that pension really takes the burden off of you. All right. So the next thing to say is, no, I don't think you should convert the $2 million. But what you can do is I would probably, if your health is okay, if you really think your health is going to be okay, I would delay your Social Security till 67. I would start pulling money out of the $2 million, sooner rather than later, and just pull the money out and pay the tax on it. Okay. You've got money in, if you wanted to convert, I guess you could, but you don't have to. You could take the $400,000 that's in savings plus whatever you pull out of your retirement account, if you don't want to convert it, and just open a brokerage account. If you really want to convert, okay, you can start converting and just use some of the cash on hand to pay the tax that's due. But I don't see that there's like a huge, you don't have to, because, I'd like you to be able to have money available to you also to live on, because until you claim Social Security, we are going to need extra money for you, right? So you can either spend money from your savings, you can pull money from the traditional account, you could convert and then pull some extra money. Like it's some combination of that. But until you get, 7 years from now, when you're getting that extra $4,000, we're going to need to get you some of that money. You're going to have to be taking $30,000, $40,000 from somewhere every year to make up the difference, right?
Correct.
I guess that when I consider the things that you're telling us, I feel like you have a great, great game plan here. You really do. There's nothing that can go wrong in terms of the money. But I think you have to be smarter about how you're managing this cash. I think paying down a 2.25% mortgage makes absolutely no sense. And I'm just going to keep saying that over and over. Sure, you could convert, but you could also just have the money available to you. You could let the money roll a little bit, but I would start getting either convert or get some of that money out over the next 7 years. You're still going to be you have a high cost of living state, right? You live in the state of California, but you could still pull out, I don't know, let's see, he's got 6,100 plus he's got his 100. So, you could probably pull $100,000 a year out of that retirement account and either convert it or pay the tax due and stay in the 22% bracket. Maybe you go into 24, but that's not bad. You're used to, how much were you making when you, before you left?
Around 220.
Yeah, you're used to paying high taxes. by the way, that mortgage would be nice for you to keep also for tax purposes as well. All right. So your big question, you said you came in and you say, I was laid off last year. Do I have to go back to work? The answer is no. The other things that we brought up in this call, no, do not pay down a 2.25% mortgage. I know it emotionally makes you feel good. Just keep that money liquid. The money that you have in savings or the CD, you can use that money to supplement your income, which right now is the $1,000 of your husband's Social Security, his $6,100 pension, and your $1,500 a month that you're receiving from your employer. You could pull out more money from your traditional account to get you your $11,000 a month. You could pull out even more and convert some of it as well. Wherever you land, the answer to the big question, do you have to go back to work? The answer is no, absolutely not. And other than that, the only other thing I will say, because you have 2 kids, is make sure you've got your estate documents done. Do you?
Yes.
You do. That's
Yes.
good. If you've got a question about whether you need to get back into the workforce or whether it's okay to kick back or whether there's a different option for you, get in touch with us. Go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. You're back. It's Jill on Money. And before we conclude the program, I just want to remind you to just go to JillOnMoney.com and bookmark the website because all of our content lives there and we refresh it constantly. So there's always new blogs up there and videos, and we are always here to field your questions. All you need to do is go to the upper right-hand corner of the website, JillOnMoney.com, click that Contact Us button, write us a note, and let us know what's going on. We want to help you out. If you'd like to join us live, which I love because I can ask follow-up questions and I can hear what's going on in your voice, then just check the box. Mark will do everything else. Before we conclude the program, let's do one last email. This is from Catherine, who writes, I have a small Roth IRA annuity and a regular small Roth IRA. I also have a traditional IRA. Should I combine everything into one Roth IRA account? Great question, Catherine. I especially love this at this time of year. I always like to clean up those orphan accounts that are floating around. When you're looking to consolidate accounts, it's best to start with the like accounts, meaning you've got these 2 Roth IRAs. Now, one you say is an annuity, one is a regular small, it must mean a brokerage account Roth IRA. So the question is there any fee to get out of that old annuity? If not, roll the annuity proceeds into the current Roth IRA and make that one account that you can manage. Now, in terms of the traditional, if you are asking, should you convert that traditional into the Roth? Sure, that would be great. But remember, you're going to have to pay tax on the conversion. So if that's the case, we want to make sure you've got money outside of your accounts, outside of your retirement accounts to pay that tax bill. I'd love for you to follow up so that we can go through some of the details on how that might work. Okay, that's it. That's the program. Our music is composed by Joel Goodman. Mark Talercio is the best executive producer in the world and the king of all things Jill on Money web. All of our content lives at that website, JillOnMoney.com, so check it out. And of course, do something nice for someone else today. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.